It was still light when I walked through Loppia to the Osteria Alle Darsene for dinner, where I had been lucky enough to get a table out in the Giardino by the harbor. There was a large party of some 20 Bavarians occupying the major part of the outdoor seating area when I got there. Most of the guests for the smaller tables had yet to arrive. Although I didn't know it yet, I was in for a spectacular dinner, one of the best on my trip. It would, coincidentally, turn out to be my only dinner in Bellagio which contained no fish. A glass of Prosecco was imperative while I made inroads into the bread selection, and, as the light dimmed, I assembled my menu and settled in for a delightful evening. In addition to the bread, a mousse of eggplant and parmesan with olive oil perfumed with basil was brought to me to keep my palate company until the antipasto arrived. What a starter! 2 zucchini flowers stuffed to the bursting point with sheep's ricotta on a bed of candied tomatoes took my breath away. In terms of photo appeal, this proved hard to top in any meal I had later on my vacation. And the ricotta-filled zucchini packages were indescribably good. The drinks waiter had decided I needed a Sauvignon Blanc from Zorzetti in Friuli to accompany them. A great choice, inspiring confidence in his other wine pairings. It's so nice when you know that everything is going to continue to be wonderful, so I knew my primo would be equally exciting. The waiter placed a steaming bowl of stinging nettle gnocchi with veal sweetbreads and fresh mixed mushrooms in front of me. No time to swoon. These gnocchi required instant ingestion. Meanwhile, at a neighboring table, 5 Americans had arrived and were placing their orders. I think they decided my beatific smile augured well for their own dinner. Barlan, an unusual rosé made from Nebbiolo grapes from the Torraccia del Piantavigna winery between Gemme and Gattinara in Piemonte, was my waiter's pick for the accompaniment. Again, an excellent choice. My secondo was next, pigeon, with glazed apples and a red onion marmalade. Said pigeon was of French provenance, I had been told. I'm not used to seeing it on menus in Italy. The neighboring Americans had seen this item on the menu and decided nobody at their table was game for it. But, noticing it was what I was eating, one of the men was brave enough to ask me how it was. An easy answer. Fabulous, sensational, worth coming for. Maybe next time, he said. His wife still looked very doubtful. With the pigeon, I got a stunning top red from Ca del Bosco in Lombardy, named for the winery's founder Maurizio Zanella, composed of the classic Bordeaux cuvée of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Cabernet Franc. I lingered over it and asked the waiter to delay the dessert so I could extend the enjoyment. Eventually I ceded to a craving for sugar and my dessert was brought out. Called Choco Cocco on the menu, it was a white chocolate and coconut panna cotta on candied rhubarb. It was worth waiting for and I savored every mouthful. The Americans were eating way too fast and drinking far too little. Although they arrived when I was well into my antipasto, they had long since overtaken me and soon had finished dessert, paid the bill, and been whisked back to their hotels in taxis. I still had my dessert wine to meditate over. Once again, a surprising choice which I was most pleased with, a very distinctive Moscato Rosa from Roberto Zeni, north of Trento. And there was a bit left in the glass to go with the plate of biscotti, which rounded off the dinner. Steeped in contentment, I headed back to the hotel. The Bavarians were still going strong. They had actually outlasted me.